Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Emily, and today I wanted to talk about something that I get questioned all the time, and that's how do I take care of my plants, which house plants are the easiest, and all that. Because I'm sure I don't speak for myself when I say that I've killed plants before. Believe it or not, I have an apartment full of plants, but yes, I have killed plenty of plants. But of course I've gotten better throughout the years, and I can't really remember the last plant that I killed, but what I can tell you are the plants that I've had for years or a couple of months that I really noticed that do super well, even when you neglect them a little bit. So I want to go ahead and share those plants with you guys, show you where I keep them, things like that, and how I care for them. And yeah, that's it. Let's just get started and bring out the first plant. Alright, so first of all, we all know about Pothos. We all know about Pothos plants. Those are very easy to care for, low light needed, nothing too crazy. And I'm sure you've heard of those plenty of times, so I'm not even going to get into those. But there is a plant that is very similar. In fact, I thought it was a Pothos. So it's actually a Scindapsus. As you can see, it's very similar to a Pothos, very similar to a satin Pothos. But this plant, I pretty much care for it just like a Pothos. I do think that it has a little bit more personality to it. You could just see like the leaves are a bit thicker than a Pothos would have, and I just love it. I keep this one hanging on this basket and I keep it at my front door. I love this plant so much. It just trails so well. And I haven't propagated this one yet, but because a Pothos propagates so easily, I'm guessing this one will as well. So for this specific plant, I just make sure that the soil doesn't get completely dry. So when I use my moisture meter, let me show you my moisture meter in case you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about. So this is my moisture meter. Let me open it up. And this is what it looks like. So I just stick it in the soil and I just make sure that it doesn't get completely dry or anything like that. But yeah, this plant has been doing super well. I swear when I got it was when I was living in San Jose. So it was definitely a year ago, but it was very small, but it has just been trailing like crazy. And I should be repotting it soon because the roots are coming out, but I'm lazy. But again, the fact that it does need a repot, but it's still been growing like crazy, just shows you how resilient it is. So yeah, get yourself a Scindapsus for sure. Another plant that I have found to be super easy to care for is this Hoya. There's so many varieties of Hoyas, so many different ones. This one, I can't remember the exact name, so I apologize, but it's a pretty standard Hoya. This one I've had for almost a year maybe, but yeah, it's doing pretty well. I just keep mine at my coffee table. It's been moved around every now and then, but I really love the look of it on my coffee table, and it just makes such a statement piece because of the vines trailing out like that. So really nice. This one prefers to not get dry soil at all either, but I'm not gonna lie, I have neglected it every now and then and allowed the soil to completely dry, which isn't good, but she's resilient, she's strong, she's still loving life. So a Hoya is another great plant that can put up with some neglect. Okay, so the next plant is the ZZ plant. And I've said this before, I don't know why it took me so long to get one. It's only been a couple of months, but she's just so cute. I swear I don't have her by a window or anything, but she's still loving it. She's still doing really well. The watering is super easy because it does prefer to be dried out. So that's great. That just means I wait a little bit longer until I need to water it. And of course I use the moisture meter to make sure that I'm not overwatering or anything. So yeah, it's been doing really well. And I know that you can have a ZZ plant in so many different areas of your home. Like I said, I don't have mine close to a window at all. I have mine just on my shelf, and she's doing totally fine. So this one, again, it could be a plant that you completely forget about and I think it'll still stay alive. Okay, so next would have to be Peperomias. Again, wide variety of Peperomias. I have this one here. I can't remember the exact name, I'm sorry. Yeah, this one I've had for a really long time. I'm sure if I gave it more attention, it would flourish even more and I should probably like repot it because I haven't repotted it forever. But again, we're talking lazy people plants right here, and this is still one of the winners. She's super cute, makes such a statement piece. Now that I think about it, I think I do want to repot it soon because it's just so pretty. So I would love to see her like grow bigger and everything. And this one I keep on my TV stand. Again, it doesn't get crazy lighting. It does prefer soil to be a little bit more on the dry side before you water it again. And for all of these plants, let me just say we are aware, okay, that if we did do a better job at watering and giving them more sunlight and all that stuff, then they are of course going to thrive a lot more. I'm just showing you the plants that you can get away with neglecting a little bit. Okay, so here's my other that I have to hold like a baby so that the top stem doesn't fall. I absolutely love this one because she's just so beautiful and looks so healthy, even though I swear I don't even do anything to it. I think it's because of where it's at. I do keep mine in the breakfast nook where the lighting is super, super good, and it's directly in front of the window, but of course like feet away, so I'll show you. And I keep it in this little shelf unit, and it looks so good because it takes shape of the whole little shelf. So she fits perfect. So cute. Love this one. You might be fooled. This is a pretty good sized pot, but it's actually in a smaller terracotta pot like this. So yeah, she just stays in a small pot. I water it every 1.5 weeks or something. Like I said, once I notice that the soil is pretty dry, that's when I water it. But yeah, get yourself a peperomia as well. All right guys, and another plant, which might be a surprise, is just a bunch of cacti. I swear you do not need a bunch of sunlight for these. If you have a very, very low light apartment or home or something though, I don't recommend them. This is if you feel like your place actually does get a good amount of sunlight though. So just letting you know, if it's very, very low, I prefer you don't get some cacti or else they will definitely die. Don't even ask me the names. I do not know. I literally just refer to every cacti as a cacti, and I know some of them, like the ones that I get from my mom's home or something, they're like a San Pedro one or something. I don't know. I'm like gonna start drifting off talking about cactus, but these, I just love them. I keep these on my TV stand. So I do get some good lighting in here, but it's not like direct or anything, you know? I also keep some over on my kitchen counter, which is really great because those go right on the windowsill. And I also have some cute little mini ones above my bed on that windowsill. And what's awesome about cacti is that you should literally make it your goal to kind of neglect them and not give them too much water, because these are the ones that for sure you will be killing if you give them too much water. I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I watered these, but of course I know if they were outside or got a lot more sunlight, then they would be doing super, super well. Right now they're just doing fine, but I just love having cacti inside the home. And before I forget, my main cacti that I always get questioned, let me show you guys because I have to step away for a second. But I can't get out of bed. All right, so here's my cactus that I always get questions on. The lighting is not that great, but this is my big cacti. It's not the greatest looking because it has a few scuffs here and there, but this one was actually a cutting from somebody in the neighborhood. I found the cuttings on the OfferUp app. So when I got it, it already wasn't perfect, but I couldn't find any other ones that were being offered for free or anything. So I went for it and it still looks really good. You can't really tell the imperfections unless you get like super close or anything, but again, I'm happy with it. I think it looks nice and it's super easy to care for because I hardly even water it. This one, however, does get better amount of sunlight compared to the rest, which is important because it's pretty big. So yeah, there's that one. Get yourself some cacti at home. Okay, and last plant, and I know people are gonna think I'm crazy or whatever, but this plant really has been super easy to care for ever since I almost killed it years ago. It's been super easy to care for, and that's Mr. Fiddle over here. The main reason why you might be killing your fiddle leaf fig is because of bad watering habits. So this guy needs completely dry soil. So what I hear a lot when people are asking me questions about how I keep mine alive and they're letting me know about their watering habits, they're telling me they're watering their fiddle leaf fig like every single week, which is a little bit insane because of the way that I care for mine. So I can't even imagine how dead mine would be if I were watering it every single week. So of course, depending on how big your plant is or where exactly you have it in your home, like how much sunlight it's getting and stuff, that's all gonna play into factor for the watering. So mine is in a 12-inch pot, so it's gonna take a little bit longer for all that soil to dry out compared to like a small little pot, right? And it is in between a pretty nice sized window and then a very small one, but it works and it's happy here. So lighting aside, if you think it's in a good spot and it's getting relatively good sunlight, then the main thing that you need to be thinking about for this type of plant is the watering. Moisture meter. Moisture meter, this is literally what saved my plant. Like, and a lot of them too. So I just use my moisture meter to make sure that it's completely dry. And the thing is that like, I don't just check one section of all my plants. I use the meter and check around into like different areas of the pots, because for a plant like this that really needs completely dry soil, you need to make sure that it's evened out, because one side of the pot might be completely dry, but one side might still be pretty moist, and that's where the overwatering happens. This plant, I swear, I have gone probably a month without watering it sometimes, or maybe that's too crazy, maybe like 3 weeks. But the point is, this one, I swear, was a nightmare until I figured out the watering, and now he's one of my favorites. I could just leave him and he's chilling. So if you've been thinking about getting a fiddle leaf fig and have been a little bit too scared, then I say go for it. Maybe start off with a smaller one or something just to get the hang of it, but definitely recommend because they are such a beautiful plant. Alright you guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to click that like button, and if you haven't already, then go ahead and subscribe and join the Classy Casita family, where we talk all about home decor, plants, and lifestyle. And let me know if you want to see more like plant care tips, if there's any specific plants in general that you want to hear more about. Let me know if you have any suggestions. I would love to hear them. And thank you guys again for watching. I will see you next time.
It's easier said than done.